In the natural world, death is rarely a tragedy. Most of the time, it is an absolute necessity, a biological transaction. But in the jagged, isolated peaks of the Bulgarian Rhodope Mountains, death completely stopped working. For over 3 decades, this breathtaking landscape held a dark, silent secret. Whenever an animal died here, whether it was a wild deer, a boar, or a stray sheep, its body didn't return to the earth. It just rotted. The pathogens multiplied, the soil turned toxic, the rivers carried bacteria downstream. The ecosystem was slowly suffocating under the weight of its own unrecycled decay. The reason for this ecological nightmare was incredibly simple. The mountain's designated cleanup crew had been entirely wiped out, eradicated, erased from the skies. To fix this broken world, a rogue coalition of European biologists decided to execute an operation that many considered completely reckless. They were going to smuggle dozens of prehistoric-looking, flesh-eating giants across international borders. They would drop them straight into the very landscape that had spent the last 30 years trying to murder them. It was a massive biological gamble. If these birds died, the entire rewilding project would collapse. But if they survived, they wouldn't just clean up the rotting carcasses. They would trigger an impossible chain reaction that would literally bring a dead mountain range back to life. We spend hundreds of hours digging through lost archives and scientific journals to bring you forgotten ecological miracles exactly like this one. If you are fascinated by the hidden mechanics of our planet and want to see more impossible comebacks, hit that subscribe button right now. Now, to understand why these mountains were dying, you have to go back to the exact moment the skies were empty. Up until the late 20th century, the skies over the Balkans were heavily trafficked. The reigning monarch of these skies was the Cinereous Vulture. With a staggering wingspan of nearly 10 feet, that is roughly the length of a small car, it is the heaviest, largest bird of prey in Europe. They are visually intimidating, yes, but fundamentally, they are the immune system of the Earth. The stomach acid of a Cinereous vulture is a biological marvel. It sits at a pH of around 1.0. That is essentially battery acid. It is so corrosive that it effortlessly neutralizes deadly pathogens like anthrax, botulism, and cholera. When a vulture eats an infected carcass, the disease ends there. It is incinerated. But human paranoia doesn't care about ecology. In the mid to late 1900s, local farmers in the Rhodopes became terrified of wolves and bears attacking their livestock. To protect their sheep, they resorted to chemical warfare. They began systematically lacing animal carcasses with lethal doses of strychnine and illegal agricultural pesticides, leaving them out in the wild as deadly booby traps. They wanted to kill the predators, but instead, they accidentally carpet-bombed the skies. A wolf might eat one poisoned bait, but a flock of 50 vultures will descend on a single tainted carcass, and within minutes, the entire flock is fatally poisoned. It was an absolute massacre. Instead of saying the population dropped by an abstract percentage, picture this. From a sky that used to be a swirling vortex of massive black wings, the Rhodopes were reduced to a terrifyingly empty void. By the early 1990s, the Cinereous vulture was functionally extinct in the Bulgarian Rhodopes. Not a single breeding pair was left. Decades passed. The ecosystem suffered. But then, in the freezing winters of the early 2020s, a few rogue biologists started scaling these terrifying sheer cliffs. They weren't studying rocks. They were manually bolting strange, heavy wooden platforms directly into the stone, thousands of feet above the ground. Nobody knew what they were for, but these bizarre structures would soon become the anchor point for the greatest ecological heist in European history. Fast forward to 2022. The Bulgarian Society for the Protection of Birds, or BSPB, teamed up with Rewilding Europe and a Spanish NGO known as Grefa. They looked at the rotting, unbalanced ecosystem of the rhodopes and made a controversial decision. It was time to bring the biological shields back. The logistics were completely insane. You cannot just order 40 apex scavengers on the internet. The team had to carefully trap, rehabilitate, and transport these giant birds from thriving colonies in Spain and France. They drove them thousands of miles across the continent in specialized, climate-controlled crates, praying the stress wouldn't kill them. And critics were furious. They called it a suicide mission. Why would you spend millions of dollars to dump endangered birds into a landscape that has historically acted as an open-air poison trap? It was literally like throwing a lit match into a powder keg. If the local farmers were still using poison, the entire transported flock would be wiped out in a single week. So, the scientists had to militarize the mountains. Before a single bird was released, they deployed elite anti-poison canine units. These dogs scoured the valleys, sniffing out illegal chemical baits hidden in the brush. The teams held countless meetings with local communities, educating them, practically begging them to understand that the real enemy wasn't the wildlife, it was the toxic soil. In 2023, the doors of the crates were finally opened. The first batch of Cinereous Vultures took to the Bulgarian skies for the first time in a generation. And then, the scientists waited. They watched the GPS tracking data on their monitors, terrified that the blinking dots would suddenly stop moving. But the dots kept flying. They survived the winter, they survived the spring. So, in 2025, the team doubled down. They transported and released 7 more birds into the wild, bringing the total to nearly 40 individuals over the years. They had provided the birds, they had cleared the poison, they had built those strange wooden platforms. Now, nature had to do the rest. Early spring 2026. The impossible happened. For the first time in over 30 years, a Cinereous vulture chick hatched naturally in the wild of the Bulgarian rhodopes. It wasn't just a lucky anomaly. The scientists' crazy gamble with the wooden platforms had worked flawlessly. 8 pairs of vultures had formed, and 7 of them bypassed the jagged rocks entirely, choosing to build their massive nests on those exact artificial platforms. 4 pairs successfully laid eggs, and 3 healthy chicks survived. Overnight, these 8 pairs represented a staggering 25% of Bulgaria's entire Cinereous vulture population. But here is where the story goes from a simple conservation win to a mind-bending ecological masterclass. The return of these birds triggered what scientists call a trophic cascade, a biological domino effect that completely rewires a landscape from the top down. Domino 1. The cleanup. With 40 massive scavengers patrolling the skies, the carcasses of animals that died during the harsh winter were entirely stripped to the bone in a matter of hours, rather than rotting for months. Domino 2. The soil quarantine. Disease transmission rates plummeted. The ground was no longer a toxic breeding ground for bacteria. Domino 3. The herbivore explosion. Because the soil and water were cleaner, populations of wild fallow deer, red deer, and wild boar, which conservationists had been desperately trying to support, finally began to thrive and multiply. As the deer and boar populations expanded, their hooves churned the earth, acting as natural plows. Plant diversity exploded. The forests grew thicker. The roots held the soil, purifying the rivers. The vultures didn't just return to the ecosystem. They were the engineers that rebuilt the entire machine. Dobromir Dobrev, a leading vulture expert for BSPB, looked at the data and realized something incredible. The GPS trackers showed that these newly formed pairs didn't just consist of the birds brought from Spain. Some of them had paired up with wild vultures flying over the border from Greece. The birds were ignoring human borders. They were physically stitching the fragmented ecosystems of Eastern Europe back together. We look at the environmental destruction around us, and it is so easy to fall into despair. We see an empty sky, a silent forest, or a polluted river, and we assume that the damage is permanent. We assume we have broken the world beyond repair. But the miracle of the Bulgarian rhodopes proves a profound, deeply comforting truth about our planet. Nature is not fragile. It is aggressively, violently resilient. It desperately wants to heal. It just needs us to stop poisoning it, step out of the way, and maybe build a few wooden platforms on a cliff edge. The work is not over. At least 4 more massive releases are scheduled leading up to 2029. The alliance between Rewilding Europe and Greffa has secured long-term commitments to ensure this population never collapses again. But the heaviest lifting is already done. The engine of the mountain has been restarted. Franz Scheppers, the CEO of Rewilding Europe, who first stood in these mountains back in 1987, finally saw the skies return to how they were always meant to be. Because true wildness relies on a simple rule. Death is not the opposite of life. It is the soil from which the future grows.